Welcome to the review to Sony Xperia T3, which is also called Style here in Germany. That's why it says it here on the box, which is available in three colors: black, white and purple. Now we have here the black version available in our hands, so we can show you guys a little bit around the device, what the software does and how the cameras are acting. This is a 300 or less US dollar device. Was announced in the summer, and now it's available widely everywhere. I would say we have a Snapdragon 400 processor inside, which means that we have 4 cores, 1.4 GHz, 1 GB of RAM, and 8 GB of internal memory, which are expandable via micro SD, which you will find right here on the side by opening up this flap. Putting in your micro SD right here, or actually you also need a SIM card which goes right there, a micro SIM card and not a nano SIM card. You have here hardware on just an off switch, but I think you will never need that. And actually, even though we have here this nice little flap, this device is not actually waterproof. Watch out for that. It just looks really pretty with only 7mm in thickness and also only 147 grams in lightness. Without the SIM card. The SIM card adds maybe half a gram or a gram. So otherwise we have here on the bottom a microphone, and you can also use a little wristband here or put it around your neck here on this side. Sony never seems to forget that feature. Then we have here the camera button, volume rocker, on and off switch. We already show you guys here what's behind the flap, and on top a full-sized 3.5mm headphone jack, and there's another microphone right above that for conference calls, as there is, for example, a third microphone here also below the 8-megapixel camera with the flash. We have still NFC built in. The Sony logo does not only look good, but it actually sticks out really like half a millimeter, or not even like that much out, so you can feel it clearly. The back cover is plastic with rubber coating, feels quite nice, and you can also see some fingerprints here, but only if you hold it in the right angle. Otherwise, like you can see here from the front, it's not much visible. On the bottom you have here a really nice and loud speaker, and that's it from around the device. From the front you will find here a 1.1 megapixel camera, status LEDs right here where the speakers are, which is looking actually quite good when you, for example, plug it in for charging. Let me see if I have a cable that is long enough for this video. Actually not really. Have to get it out of the picture a little bit, but here we go. So, nope, was not long enough. But anyhow, it's really quite nice to see just a red light or any other colored light here glowing when the phone is actually charging. Let me actually just move the camera, then you can see. So here we go. It's glowing red. Not that thrilling, but yes. And then we have, of course, as I said, a 1.1 megapixel camera, some status, not LED, but here's some sensors built in, and then also here on the bottom there's nothing. That's a little bit sad, and that's one of the negative points I can definitely say about the T3. Sony should have put here the Android buttons definitely outside of the screen, so we can easily access those when we are in apps otherwise. And of course, because this area is not really of much use for us, except for, of course, it makes the phone bigger and gives us enough space for the 2500 milliamp battery that is inside. But enough talking about the hardware, let's check out the software. So you can see here it's running quite smooth with the Snapdragon 400 and the latest Android 4.4.2 installed, KitKat, and maybe there's a Lollipop update, but I'm not sure about that. So don't be sure that it will come out. So we have 83% here, which should definitely go down to 80% once we are finished here with the review, but maybe it won't because the battery life is really good. I will show you that later. So what you can see is that we have here the standard screen that it will ship with. I didn't change that for you guys, so you can see how it will look like, as this is not changing, except for, of course, when you take some pictures, you can see here the results. And here on this side, I only installed 2 apps on the whole device for you guys, so you can definitely check those out, or we will check actually those out in a second. But first, here again, these are the pre-installed apps. You can actually search here on the first page, or just browse through them like that, and then when you come to the end you can't go around. You have to go back here to the first to search, uninstall. You can change the order or actually access your Play Store right here if you don't want to access it here, or just here up in the menu. If you want to change here actually how these are in order, like for example in your own order, you can not just hold them down because that will put them, or you can just bring them to the home screen like that, or you can really change the order like that, like you would on your iPhone for example, which is quite nice. Otherwise, there's lots and lots of features built into the Bravia engine too, so you should definitely check out my Z3 Compact or Z3 or any other Sony Xperia Premium smartphone tips and tricks video to get all the information about how you should use your smartphone. Like for example, you can use a simple home, which gives you only access to really basic features, which is amazing for older people. Like for example, this big phone and this big icons and everything, and really good battery. This will be amazing for older people to use here with a simple toolbar, and you can easily go back here by exit home, and then you get back to your regular Xperia home if you want. But more about that, as I said, in my tips and tricks video on my YouTube channel, so check that out. Maybe also hit the subscribe button if you're already there. So no, we don't want to select home app. You always want to go in Xperia home. Otherwise, it will always ask you when you press here the home button what it should do. Otherwise, let's just check out here the camera. Maybe start with the front camera if it already opened that up. Just so you can see on the bottom, we have it on manual mode right now. We can do superior auto, should be about the same. So let's start with the front, as I said. So you can see here there's quite a bright light coming here from the right top because we are shooting at night right now, this movie. But if I just hit here the camera button, you can see that the result will be quite nice, because we can definitely read on my camera lens here everything, and for 1.1 megapixel camera I think the quality is totally right, and if this would be natural light it would look a lot better. So otherwise, if you turn it around, you will see that here on the back we can touch to focus if you would want, and then we easily just shoot a photo of, for example, here the box. I can also say I want to focus actually here on the bottom part where we have some specs. So let me just hit the picture button. But what I think is a lot better is if you go to manual mode, because you have all kinds of settings here, which I'm not a camera genius, but you can, for example, set up HDR right here, image stabilization, which is not available in the auto mode, and also for here you can set some extra stuff, and for the video mode you can even set more, like for example that it should do HDR video, which is quite amazing for even better picture quality. So you can see you can shoot full HD movies also, but let's just take a picture which we actually already took, so let's see what the result is. So this was the last one where I focused actually on the 8 megapixel or 5.3 inches and everything that it said on the box. And the other one was focusing here on the Sony logo, which turned out also quite sharp. And then here on the bottom you can see it's not as sharp, so touch to focus works quite good. So this much about the camera. Then let's listen to a little bit of the speaker. So here it's alright, there's of course not much bass in this sound, but otherwise it sounds okay for a cheap smartphone. You could say, well, for a slim smartphone, because it's really not that easy to put good speakers into a slim smartphone. Let's check out the browser, or how it would be to browse the web by opening up maybe some website like techhive.com. Here we go. And what I actually want to show you is still, as I show always, maybe in all my Sony videos, that the Swype keyboard is just the best, and you can see this is of course running quite nicely here our American colleagues at techvideo.com doing an amazing job. And if you zoom in here, for example, to a side, you can see that even though this is only an HD screen, not full HD screen on 5.3 inches, everything is really sharp and you don't have to worry about not being able to read something because it's too blurry, except for maybe here the gray stuff. That's for me easy because I'm still young, but for older people I think that might be a little bit harder. So as I said, it's really quite easy to type. You can just type New York Times like that, for example. But what I just love to do is just connect the dots. New York Times like that. And it says Nyomta right now because it thinks I want to write in Hungarian because I selected 3 languages to write here. But you can easily go here to the setups and you can set in the keyboard settings how many languages you want, what kind of, if you want a one-handed keyboard, for example, and so on and so on. So you can easily turn everything off. We'll just say, for example, here German, and you want the German to be Querz. So yeah, but it will download the languages from the internet, the dictionary at least, once you select them. Like I want Basque, it will download actually that language. So this is again a cool thing, and you were able to see that it really flips around quite nicely, quickly. There's no performance issues at all, since the Snapdragon 400 is really made for these cheaper kind of smartphones. But does it also do gaming good? Let's see. Let's start Temple Run 2. With 1 gig of RAM, as I said, shouldn't be that hard. As I said before, I won't go too deep into the software since most of it is the same as in every Sony smartphone with the Bravia engine too. So it's not that thrilling, just check out my videos on that. So you can see Temple Run didn't take long to start up. Works quite easily, and the ape will catch me in a second, I guess, because I just ran into the wall, just to make it a little bit more thrilling for you guys. But it's still not that interesting of a game if you ask me, so let's just die here and move to the next one, like Retry. Brand new game by Rovio, which I haven't hit. Come on, there we go. Just skip everything. You can see here again the Android buttons take off even now space here from the screen. Here we go. So this is Retry, also quite smooth and easy running game. So what else is there to show you guys? As I said, there's the Bravia engine with the stamina mode. If a lot of people would say now, okay, because of the stamina mode, the performance of the battery is that great. That is true, but not because of the stamina mode I chose right now, because that actually only disables here the Wi-Fi and mobile data when the screen is off. That's what I'm doing right now. I didn't restrict the performance at all, so that is actually all off right now for the review, but still only 3% in 30 minutes, which is totally alright. It would still last, as you can see, 20 days if I would use it like this, and that's actually true, because if I go into the battery usage, you will see here that I started at 42% and drained it all the way down here in 11 days. It was only in the box, I left it on accidentally, and yeah, it drained itself in 11 days by not doing anything. So you would get from a full charge easily 20-25 days, depending on how often you charge it before. And now that I'm using it, the screen is of course going up here in the area where I'm using it, but it's totally alright in the discharge area. Because yeah, you would by using it all the time for an hour, you'll maybe discharge it 10% here when the stamina mode is on, and you can see I can do anything. I'm in the Wi-Fi. I was playing music. I used the camera. Everything is all right with that battery time. So thank you much for tuning in. This was the T3 in a short review, you could say. I'm still comparing it maybe with an LG G3 in terms of size. So you can see 5.5 inches versus 5.3 inches, but it's the most compact 5.5 inch device out there, so that's not really fair. An Apple iPhone 5s with a 4-inch display is fair in terms of, so you guys know, in terms of thickness and size, how these smartphones compare. Let me just put them on top of each other so you can see 7 millimeters against 8.5, and when I have them just lying on the table, maybe on front of each other or just facing like that, you can see how big the size difference is. And if I can tell you guys, there's another amazing phone for $300 that you should definitely check out, the Honor 6. It has a full HD screen, not only HD, great 13 megapixel camera on the back, 5 on the front, and a really fast processor, octa-core processor even built in. So yeah, you should definitely check this one out. And this was the T3 here in a short review, as I said or mentioned already. Thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Balazs, and till next time, peace and again.